All right. Good time is it? Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody, depending on where you're logging in from. This is Bitcoin Brandon from Los Angeles, California. I'm the founder and CEO of Ivey Crypto Academy. And as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be giving financial advice. I read the news, share information for educational, training, and entertainment purposes only. Go ahead and type your name in the chat box where you're listening in from. This is being streamed everywhere on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And this morning, we just had our Tuesday morning update, Dev Diary from Vara. Now, it's morning for me. That's evening in South Africa for them. So they've already done this. They're home. They're getting ready for tomorrow. But my day is still the morning time for me. And I wasn't planning on doing a live showcase. I really do these when they have the big events, and then I got to break it down. But people have been asking, especially since the Dev Diaries have been really focused on the technology of dark fusion, where this is going, the new what the layer 2 means with Bitcoin Lightning Network, and what all this stuff means. And so I was requested if I could Brandon explain it, break this down like the what do Marnita call it? The fusion whisperer. So I will. I took a break. I'm right in the middle of right now writing and creating 6 more courses for my company. Then I was doing security. That's the one I'm on right now. So I'm taking a break from that, and we're going to actually watch the Dev Diary again. Only this time, you're going to get commentary from me while I watch it, till I can break down my thoughts live in front of you guys. And if there's anything that I think I may get it, but I got to think, does the average person who hears this that doesn't know crypto, are they understanding what's being said and why you should be excited about what's being said? What you witness, or what you're witnessing, is history in the making. This is why I came out of retirement for this. I could be focused strictly on my own company, but I came out of retirement because what they are doing is very unique, and we don't have these opportunities come across our desk very often. So when they do, we got to take full advantage of it while we can. So feel free to share this. If you're watching me on Facebook anywhere, share it with your groups, share it on your page, share it with your friends and family. I think we're even streaming live in the Vara hub. Let me do it. Oh, I got my game up. I just downloaded the latest update of the Vara beta, Star Vara beta. I have not had a chance to go in here and oh, that's new. That is a new layout. Tutorial training, solo bots, mode locked, 1v1 BR match, death match. This is new. Okay, so when I'm finished with here, I'm going to eat my lunch. I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm going to hook this up to my PlayStation controller, put it on my big screen TV, and I'm going to go through it. All right, I didn't realize that. Okay, but anyways, yeah, I was looking to make sure, where am I streaming? Yeah, all of my groups, and let's see, Vara Hub. Yeah, I'm in the Vara Hub group as well. All right, fantastic. Okay, so I see, who do we have on the line? I like to recognize you guys. I see, my man, Mr. Provis Lofty from Corpus Christi, Texas. Marnita Casa from Colorado. Tarmo Candlin, good morning, from Estonia. Welcome, welcome. Janelle Appling from Colorado. Jacqueline Briggs from St. Petersburg, Florida. Matthew, yeah, you've been playing it, huh? He's been in the game. He's in the beta test group. By the way, everybody that's a Vara ambassador, all you have to do is go to your app store. You know what I have to do next? I got a brand new phone too. Right now I've been playing it on my Samsung Galaxy S20. I also have it on my Samsung Z Fold, but I was having problems with the display. So I've been letting them know about that as a beta tester. I got to play with that again. But I also now want to play it on I got the brand new iPhone 15, and I'm trying to see what's better. This is a Samsung Galaxy S20. This is the iPhone 15. This Max, bro. This is supposed to be the best phone iPhone has ever created right here. And I'm comparing it with this Galaxy S20. This is 3 years old. There's a S23 that's out now. Even my Samsung Z Fold, this is Z Fold 3. There's a Z Fold 5 out now. So I'm a little behind on my Android devices, but I have the latest iPhone, and I have not put it on this phone yet. So I will later on and test it out on the iPhone as well as the Android and look at the graphics and see what's been easier. But I like playing it with my PlayStation stick. Although you can use your fingers. I mean, you can do this, and that'll be fine. I see Yvette from Kansas. Welcome, Yvette. Diane Williamson from California, my country. Welcome. All right, so let me get this set up here. Video file. We are actually going to watch this live. Yeah, I need to do it in a way that I can also stop, pause, and rewind it. So I've already downloaded it. Ignition update. All right, hold on before I get that started. All right, so we're about to do a live watch party. Relax. If this was about 30 minutes long, this might be about an hour long for me to do this with my commentary. And let's see if I can break this down for you guys in the best way possible. So let's jump in here and take a look.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our second Dev Diary of Ignition Month. This is Vara week. It's all about Vara, what's cooking in the kitchen. And yeah, guys, we just wanted to update you guys on the progress thus far. It is very exciting times leading up to our penultimate launch at the end of the month, which is going to be a huge event everyone should tune into. But today with me, I've got Nick van den Bergh and our CEO of Dark Fusion Technologies, Mr. Greg van der Stay. Great to be here, guys. How are you guys all feeling?
Excited. Very excited.
Very excited. Thanks, Greg. Great to be here with you guys today.
Great. So as I said, it's the second week of our Dev Diaries. We've got an incredible showcase.
Now, how's the audio coming for you guys? If the audio's coming through clear, type Y in the chat box. It seems like, I don't know, Greg's audio is off, but the other Greg and Nick seem to be fine. Well, let's keep going here.
Next week with a new product that we'll be introducing, that mum's the word.
Yeah.
We'll be waiting for that to be disclosed next week. But today it's all about talking around the Vara, our journey up till now, and you know the significance of what we're building here. So maybe Nick, you wanted to just jump in to giving us a bit of an update around the progress of the Vara platform that we've built out, maybe a little bit of a retrospective.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start, Greg. I mean, where we've come from since the launch circa October, November last year, and it's really been an incredible year for the ambassadors to see.
Well, do you guys realize that? Those of you guys that got involved with us, it's almost a year. I first heard of this, I think the week of Christmas last year. And the first meeting was right after Christmas, before the new year. And if I look back at when the first people signed, when were we able to sign up? Because this is historic. Going back, looking at this a year now. Let me go to team. If I look at when did the first, December 24th. That's when I signed up. December 24th, 2022. Let's remember that. That's going to be, that's historic. But Marnita, December 29th. Eureka, December 24th. Huh. Okay. All right, let me continue here.
How we've evolved this platform. It's really taken a shape and a life of its own. It's really allowed for the ambassadors to see their progress and to be able to feel part of building out their organizations. I mean, if you look at what we've added to the functionality of the ambassador portal over the last couple of months, we've created, almost a gamification of this whole sales process.
Wait a second, Jacqueline, if you sign up on January 16th, you're sitting on some money. Right? Hold on, let me look at this tree. Jack, what was your user name? Let's see if I can find you here. Was it Purposed Visions? I don't know, but I know you're sitting on a lot. Yeah, you are the early on Jack JAC. I'm not sharing screen. You guys can't see this. I just want to take a quick look. Oh my. You have enough points to be a vice admiral. In one leg. It pays to have gotten in early. Yeah, you got enough points to be a vice admiral. Okay, let's keep going.
Where the ambassadors are able to upgrade their packs, they're able to see their value, they're able to navigate to their various assets that they've accrued over the period of time. But more importantly, it's a visualization of their sales function. So what they're seeing now in their back office is how they're building out their teams, the ability to directly place individuals. So if you've got a big leader and it's a prospect that you've been working on for some time, you're able to facilitate a direct placement. You're able to then onboard them in a seamless manner. We've also added a number of payment options, as I'm sure everyone knows, where you're able to seamlessly go in, pay for your access pack, and in some instances actually use your earnings, which has really been a big breakthrough for the ambassadors. But more importantly, it's been around how you're actually able to track your sales and your progress. So if we look at how the portal's evolved, it is now centered around your left and right carry. You can then see in your downline who's bought in which pack. We're adding some incredible features now where you can actually talk to your downline.
That part right there. One of the corporate members just shot me a message this morning saying that that's coming very soon. It is something that I've been requesting, and I know a lot of you have, that when we sign somebody up, the ability to be able to see who they are, because since this is anonymous and crypto's anonymous, we see usernames, but we don't necessarily know who they are. And so we can't reach out to them to be able to offer them assistance, get them plugged in, show them how to get a pack, because we don't see their email address. So they're implementing a system where we will be able to chat with the members. So I want to see how that works, and then I'll give my feedback back to the company if that's sufficient or not. But I'm looking forward to that little key thing, and I see it in the back office as well. The features there, it's just not live yet. It's called chat. And then Gina, you're another one that you answered the call when we were in stealth launch early. You're actually above Jacqueline. And let me see. You are actually very, very high. Very high. Wow. Keep going up here. Purposed Visions, Daniel. Kenny Taylor. Wow, you're above Kenny Taylor. You were one of the first. You weren't playing. Yeah, you've got enough points almost to be an admiral of the fleet. Not vice admiral, admiral of the fleet. You signed up on December 29th. Wow. Yeah, you were one of the first. It pays to be the first. That's in commissions. I don't know. That's about almost $200,000 in commissions that you have waiting for you right there. All right, we keep going.
So something that has been missing is now coming to the fore, where if I sign Greg up and he's currently on, a Moonbase pack or a Planet pack, I can now directly communicate to them in the platform. So it really has been this progressive journey, and we've probably built out one of the leading platforms today in this network marketing space.
Yeah, very powerful stuff. And I always like to kind of go back to, the origin of this business and our background, where we were looking to, combine that direct sales with a gaming product in the crypto sphere.
Yes.
The power, if done properly and executed on, the kind of, the traction we could get just with our past experiences and the businesses that we've been involved in the past, if done properly.
Yes.
And now we're, fast forward to, the clock today, what we've been working on in the background from a dark fusion technology perspective and what that means for this business, I think it often gets lost in translation. And I know we've kept a lot back, but the significance of what's happening right now, when we're going live with our smart contract language, the protocol that's going to be open source in December, what that means for the Vara business, how Fusion 1 is going to be this kind of driving force for the network,
Yes.
all the products that we're going to be bringing into the system. And yes, again, just the significance of the technology behind it, the plumbing behind it. Because Vara is an affiliate platform, which is very unique in its own way, which we've been crafting and we've been building out, but always with this dark fusion technology in mind and what it means for the Vara investment.
Okay, so let me explain it for those of you that still don't get that. There's three entities here. We have Vara, which is the affiliate side, the marketing side. We are Vara ambassadors. We have the unique right, the exclusive rights to market everything that Dark Fusion is putting out using Dark Fusion technology. Inside of the Vara space, we have the Vara Ambassador Portal. That allows us to be able to interact with building our business and connect to whatever products that they're bringing. Now, the first product is Vara. Mistakenly, everybody thinks that this company is just Vara, the game. And I've said this over and over and over, even in the early days. This is far more than a game. The game is proof of work of the technology. I did not sign up here because of the game. I signed up here because of the technology. The game is just a way that we can make money because we're also selling the product. But there's going to be many more products using the technology. And the Ambassador Portal is going to be keeping track of those products. So right now you see Vara, but you'll be seeing more. That's why they said from the beginning that the Ambassador Portal is the Steam of the crypto space. And for those of you who don't know what Steam is like a third-party platform, like an app that connects you to the entire gaming world, where all gaming platforms and titles, whenever they launch a game, they send it over to Steam so people can, it's like, think of it like Amazon or eBay. Okay? And it keeps tracks of all of your games. And, next time I do a presentation, I'll share a screen and I'll open up my Steam, or maybe I'll even do that today. Let me click on search, because people, there's still a lot of gamers. I mean, people that are not gamers, and you don't understand when I say this is the Steam of the crypto space. You don't actually know what that means. You're like, okay, Brandon, what does that mean? The Steam of the crypto space. And I am attempting to open up. Here we go. So let me make this smaller. I will share screen on this because this is a teachable moment. So let me bring this down. Share screen. How can I let it show my Steam? Steam, there it is. Steam. All right, so you should be able to see my screen here. So this is Steam. This is my actual login. And it's been a while since I've used this. But you see your store, all of these other games here that I can purchase from. It's like if you've got a console game like PlayStation, then PlayStation has PlayStation Home or Xbox Home. But my downloads, I didn't download anything to this. Collections. And yeah, here's all the games I already have on here. Ace Combat 7, Cities Skyline, Dying Light. Dying Light. Oh, that's the one Marnita was telling me about. Her and her husband be playing. I still haven't even gotten past the intro, and they're in the building. I'm very big on a game called Civilization 5 and 6, SimCity 4. So I can access all these games just by clicking on it, and I can play it. You see, it says click play to play. Civilization, click play to play, and all the things that come with it. All of my I've unlocked 61 out of 286. All of my progress is being recorded here. All of my purchases and everything. This is like the ambassador portal. Same concept here. So except right now in the ambassador portal, this is what you see. Let me pull that back up. So pull up there. Let me stop share screen and we bring it back up. Window ambassador portal. Okay. So your ambassador portal, same thing. You see where it says right here, game library. Well, in the game library, right now it's showing Vara. So it's showing my inventory, my assets, the game itself, view the trailer. You can download the closed beta right now. All of my inventories of the things that I purchased and that I own. My assets, my access keys, and my Vara game tokens. Then you've got the store right here, or if you want to get the founders pack and anything else they're going to have. Giveaways, news, resources. This is like the Steam, but this is going to be the Steam of the crypto space. So I hope you guys understand that and share that with others. It's not just for you to get it, but it's for you to also share with people who also are brand new and they don't fully understand what that means. That Vara just represents the first.
I think great point, because I think a lot of the ambassadors on a day-to-day basis don't really have a quantum of what we have built up from Dark Fusion. And what it means is that everything that we're bringing to the fore with simple contract language, all of the various products and services that ourselves are building out as well, Greg, is obviously there's a number of incredible products that we're going to be bringing to the fore, which the ambassadors through the Vara ambassador portal have access to sell in perpetuity. So there's these new products now that the ambassadors get to really experience in their own personal consumption, as well as leverage the likes of gaming, the likes of finance, the likes of entertainment products. That
whoa, gaming, we already know. Then he said finance. Then he said entertainment. That's 3 different industries of products: gaming, finance, entertainment. Okay.
They're able to then sell into their organization. And this is really due to the innovation that Dark Fusion has brought to the fore. And what I'm excited about for the ambassadors is it's almost like this centralized, decentralized marketplace play now, where you have Fusion 1, the ambassadors are able to then propagate their interest in different products and services that they're able to then.
I like that. So in other words, with the multiple different products, You've got some people that will say, you know, I'm not a gamer, but you might be into the finance side. You might be into the entertainment side. So you're not boxed into just one. There's options for you to have here. That's why I said that this is for everybody.
Sell and acquire different customers. So it's not just a single dimensional customer acquisition. You're able to then find an area of interest, whether that's gaming through Vara, whether that's the financial product offering. You're then able to bring new users into the.
And that's important, because even right now, people ask me, and I've got a big marketer that's saying, you know, what's the avatar? Who are the customers? Who is your target audience? I said, well, that depends, because I can approach people with this project from a gaming standpoint. How would you like to get paid to play a video game? I can approach it from another standpoint. When people say, well, I don't play video games, how would you like to get paid from other people playing video games? I'm sure your kids are playing video games, so they're bringing you money all the time to buy V-Bucks and Robux. And then you got somebody who says, well, I'm a networker. I really don't care about the games. You know, I could sell tires on the side of a freeway. I could sell ice to an Eskimo. The product really doesn't matter. The compensation matters. Can I make $1 million in it? And if I can build it. Well, we've got that for people. I mean, I've already made more than 6 figures with less than 2,000 people on my team. Is it possible? Absolutely. I proved it. My sponsors are all, what, 300,000? So the money that's being made, if you want to build an organization. A lot of you guys that got started with us back in December, January last year, but you really haven't done anything yet, you've got 6 figures worth of commissions sitting there waiting for you. I wish in my life, never in my life have I ever had spillover like that. Never. And I'm a 7-figure earner. So you guys got hooked up. It's just getting the word out there. But then you also got the type of person who is not into any of that, but they're crypto geeks. The technology. I just talked to them about the technology. They're like, where do I sign up? Yeah, the game is cute. The ambassador portal, that's cute. Dark fusion technology and what it's doing on blockchain, on Bitcoin protocol, that's everything right there. But also, now there he's talking about with the ambassador portal, there's going to be more products inside of this, so that you can say, well, I really don't want to talk to people about gaming. You want to talk to people about the finance side? You're going to have that as well. I don't have the details to really talk about it, but can you imagine? I got to come up with a presentation that's going to be able to cover everything. And I got to be able to do it in under 30 minutes. That's a challenge I accept. So I already know I'm going to have 2 presentations. I'm going to have a long one, a full one, and then I'm going to have the weekly regular 30-minute presentation. You know, I can't give you a drink of water with a fire hose. A confused mind does absolutely nothing. So I got to find the best little pitch that I know the masses is going to generate in their brain to say, I'm ready to move and I want to buy a package. And then they'll understand the rest later. I didn't get everything at first. Now, I didn't understand this really until probably mid-January going into February, when I understood how big this actually was. All right, let me stop. Let me keep going.
Ecosystem. So it's helping us expand where we didn't have that expansion before.
Yeah, and Greg, we had a chat this morning, our conversation last week. There's always things happening in the market. Maybe you could just give us a quick recap of, you know, our discussion, Fusion One, and you know what that means to this whole ecosystem.
So look, excuse me, as we start to get closer and closer to launch, we're starting to see massive amounts of support in the open market and the retail market, specifically centralized around BTC, right? And the narrative right now, there's a bit of rumors and drama on the ETH side, and obviously we understand from an Ethereum virtual machine the limitations that we have from a technology standpoint, but from our perspective, we're just keeping our head down, right? We're focusing on what we're delivering. I think what we've built is some unbelievably phenomenal tech. And more importantly, the tech that we're building is, rather than focusing on it from a decentralized perspective or a centralized perspective, we're focusing on it from a core business objective perspective, right? And I think that fundamental thought process is radically redefines the way in which we can build product, and more importantly, how we add value to our network, right? So on next point is that...
That's the key right there. Value. What value are we adding to the network? What problem are we solving? This is why I say crypto education is key. It is everything. If you don't have crypto education yet, and you're trying to explain to somebody this, what I would say, one problem that we are solving is giving gamers the ability to own their own content, create their own things inside of the metaverse, and make money off of their own rewards that they can pull off into their own wallet. You don't need to understand crypto to be able to say that. How would you like to own your own content and make money playing a video game? You currently cannot do that under the Web 2.0 model without a whole industry with esports and other stuff that's really for the professional gamers. I'm more looking at the casual gamer, the person who pulls out their mobile phone when they're waiting in line, when they're in the bathroom, when they're taking a bath, when they're at the airport waiting for their plane to board or deboard. You know, that's my target audience. All right, let me keep going.
If we look at a token structure, right? So our current token standard is something that I find unbelievably exciting because it is a beautifully sustainable mechanism. Now, what it allows us to do is it allows us to, within the validator ecosystem of Dark Fusion, allow every single other network participant that issues tokens or issues in-game assets, real-world assets, any digital asset on the system. It allows the Dark Fusion validators themselves to essentially earn a percentage of that, right? Now, the easiest way to explain that is imagine running an ETH validator of which you earn a little bit of a percentage of every single ETH, ERC20 token that's transacted on the network.
Okay, let's stop right there. He's talking about not necessarily staking, but the ability to earn because you're a validator. So you having an access key. But also with the DFT, it's a little different. You don't need to have an access key to be a validator for the DFT. All you need is to have the wallet, the app, which means everybody can be a validator in that space. But on the Ethereum side, the only ones that's able to stake, since they moved from proof of work to proof of stake, you'd have to have about 33 Ethereum in your own possession. So you'll measure how much that is at $1,700, $1,800 a coin. Most people don't have that. So only a select small few group of people is able to earn rewards from every transaction taking place on the EVM network. And EVM or ERC20 is just a contract language created so that other businesses, when they want to create a smart contract, when they want to tokenize themselves, you know, there's a difference between coins and tokens. Coins have their own blockchain. Tokens are running on somebody else's blockchain. So Ethereum's a coin, but every token and coin inside of the Ethereum network is a token layer 2 based on ERC20 on that network. That's why people have been doing withdrawals, for example, from Vara, and you're getting it as a USDT, and they say make sure that you're receiving it under the ERC20 and not Solana, because it's a different blockchain. So you're getting your USDT, and your wallet address is the same as your Ethereum because it's on the Ethereum network. I hope this is making, you know, I can't help but teach. This is what I do. But I hope that makes sense. So what he's saying there is we are doing what Ethereum was doing, but now we're doing it on the Bitcoin blockchain. And Bitcoin's blockchain is now BRC20. Ethereum is ERC20. And when they start getting into NFTs, there's a different code for that as well. And you're going to see Bitcoin NFTs, which is huge. Now, why would businesses or individuals choose to use the Bitcoin network to create a layer 2 instead of Ethereum? And he alluded to this. Since Ethereum, there's a lot of problems that's happening there. One of them is the cost. Another is the regulation. If you're in the United States, you've got the 3-letter agencies going after anything calling every token out there a security, except for Bitcoin. So if you're a business and you're like, yeah, I need to create a smart contract, I want to do NFTs, I want to create my own token, but I don't want to have to go to a fight with the SEC. Maybe I'll just stick. Hey, I can do it on Bitcoin now. I think that's where I'll go. Well, whose technology am I going to use to make that happen? Oh, wait, there's this thing called Dark Fusion. They have SCL language. Oh, okay, I'll use them. This is where this is where my head explodes. Why I understand the significance of this. And I think the average person that's looking at this is like, so what? I don't get it.
Network, right? So each of these mechanisms are unbelievably powerful from a product perspective, but also more importantly from a sustainability perspective, right? So Dark Fusion and the way in which we're building out these token standards is to effect the best possible viable outcome from a business objective standpoint, but more importantly, focusing on the underlying sustainability of the entire ecosystem, right? And I think this is where we're getting to this, the closer we get to December, the more excited I'm getting on this, because we've got the Fusion 1 application at the moment. We've got beautiful layer 1 support for both BTC and ETH. We've got the underlying layer 2 support in all of the other EVM chains, as well as the Lightning support on BTC.
Something just hit me. I had asked a question wondering if businesses would just abandon Ethereum and come running over here, but they don't have to, because he just said you can be able to use Bitcoin and ETH on this network. Let me mental note that.
Itself. So we've got this incredibly robust access point in the form of Fusion 1, but the things that are exciting me is what we're going to be able to use these underlying token standards for, right? And as we're building and as we're progressing and as we're testing on it, we're starting to see huge benefit to not only the ecosystem, but the products underlying to that. And that's why I'm very excited to go further down this journey to be able to reveal the products that are being built on it. And more importantly, how these token standards impact Vara, how they impact DFG and the following partner products that we're looking at. It's because it redefines the way we look at it, because it's sustainable, it's transparent, it's fair, it's logical, right? Rather than trying to address it from a decentralized whole or trying to force it into a distributed network, we have a compliance system that allows us to give sustainable underlying mechanisms. And that's what's exciting.
We have a compliance system that allows us to give sustainable. So we're not have to focus just on the layer 2. So he's talking even bigger.
Really love that point.
That's incredible. And again, just looking at the significance of what we're announcing and launching. First in the world, layer 1 DEX, being able to mint your token.
That's exciting.
Tokenized assets in layer 1, they buy or sell.
Yeah.
Essentially having this exchange functionality which hasn't existed, it has existed with an ordinals process in the past, but with a smart contract, which allows us to interact with tokenized assets on layer 1 and then layer 2. This is extremely profound, given the context of where we are with Ethereum, but now with Bitcoin.
I mean, just the statement of smart contracts in Bitcoin, right? That is huge just in itself, right? But the point is that the way in which...
Let's catch that. If anybody that understands crypto, just by saying smart contract, Bitcoin together, that's revolutionary. The whole difference they say between Bitcoin and Ethereum is Bitcoin is just recording a transaction of all Bitcoin transactions on its ledger. That's it. But Ethereum is allowing you to do much more and have smart contracts and all this. Now we are putting that on the Bitcoin network after 15 years. This is why in my presentation I say the future of Bitcoin is now here.
Through building the system, this isn't some additional bloat mechanism that's trying to add value to the network by adding block size, right? We've seen a couple of projects try that, and to each their own. We have a better understanding, or I believe.
Okay, so what he's saying there, this isn't just some engineering team that says, yeah, we figured out how we want to add block size onto Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is very limited in size, which is why other altcoins like Litecoin spread out. It was formed, and all the other altcoins. They say, and that's why there have been Bitcoin forks with Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash, because they wanted to keep the original intent of the Bitcoin white paper the same as it was written, like a strict constructionist with the Constitution. The founders wrote it, and that's how it is. I don't care if it was 200 years ago, and none of that makes sense today. So the answer was, okay, we're going to fork and create different tokens to do what we want, since it's not going to happen on Bitcoin. What he's saying here is now our technology allows us to do that, and not just say, oh yeah, we're able to expand the block size, keeping the block size the same. So we're satisfying the strict Bitcoin, what's what I want to use, maximalists, and satisfying the demand, the need of Bitcoin services for the masses. We're combining them together without having to do a fork. And the SEC has already said Bitcoin is not a security. Like I said, this is huge, huge. All right.
We have a better understanding of the ecosystem, but also more importantly is focusing on the sustainable play, right? Because the lack of that bloat mechanism allows us to do some really, really, truly incredible things, because the way in which we manage the Bitcoin-based smart contracts is fundamentally different. But taking a step beyond that, we have the capability now to use and leverage the single-use cryptographic seals, right? Now, if I look at that in the context of
that, I'm not familiar. The single cryptographic seal. I need to learn more about that.
Of what a decentralized finance does, right? Rather than exposing a single individual private key to the network, or a single smart contract to the network from a vulnerability standpoint, I have the ability to code the single-use cryptographic seal with a specific function within that contract. So fundamentally what that means is that in the event that there's a security vulnerability, there is a very, very limited amount of funds, firstly, more importantly, a limited function that can be exposed, versus what happens in Ethereum now, you have a manipulation of functions or a straight.
Oh, wow. All right, he's talking about a security feature that safeguards the system from being hacked. So if a hacker was able to get in, it's already programmed that only so much, this program is only allowed to do this, and it's only limited. So a hacker wouldn't be able to manipulate that to drain an entire wallet, so to speak, or steal something. So it's a safeguard. Wow, that's unique.
Breach of which, once you control the underlying private key, you essentially can do whatever you want. Now, the added level of security bonus that brings is fundamentally so exciting, because it radically changes the way in which we do security audits. It also, more importantly, radically changes the way in which we build the underlying products, because I don't have to worry about exposed funds in terms of the way in which it's managed, right?
Wow, I missed that the first time I saw this. Okay, here's another example. When what's one of the main problems that happens with new token launches on Ethereum, especially if they're called fair launches? And one thing I always teach is make sure that project has been audited, and it's been audited by a third party. So the third party is going to be able to go in and find whatever breaches and holes in the system, and then do a risk assessment as to how bad it can affect the whole project. And if it's holes, you better not launch, because it can either be a backdoor scam from the developer themselves, from the people who put it together as a pump and dump or a rug pull, or it's open for a professional hacker to get in. This is what happened with Terra Luna, that hackers warned them and said, hey, we found a vulnerability in your system. You need to fix it. And arrogant Do Kwon said, nobody's going to see that. We're not doing nothing. And he didn't. And so they went in there and hacked it. And then CZ, the CEO of Binance, pulled a gangster move and let the entire world know that it happened in a tweet after he already moved like $2 billion worth and crashed the whole thing. So what he's saying here is this is an added extra layer of security, that even if it was to get hacked, they're not going to be able to do anything. And it's every single line, and they can correct me if they're watching me talk. Every single line is independent from the others. It's not grouped as one whole here. What he's saying, each private key in this line is independent. That's a very interesting way to put it. So that's another value proposition, security.
I don't have to worry about, well, I say I don't have to worry, I have to worry less about it, right? This is obviously a core requirement in making sure that the security standard is up to scratch, but the way in which we do it now is rather exposing a single endpoint or a single point of vulnerability within a smart contract play. I can expose a single function, and it's a single use function. So if it's compromised, well, thanks for identifying a vulnerability that we can fix immediately, but you got away with that single use function. That's it. There's no other additional exposure. Now, when I look at decentralized finance and the way in which we're building this ecosystem play, it radically changes the value proposition for me because it's on Bitcoin. We've got smart contracts. We now have a decentralized exchange on it, right? The swapping capabilities allow.
Yeah, he's just rapid fire throwing things. We could spend an hour on each thing he just said. I got to back that up just a little bit.
Identifying a vulnerability that we can fix immediately, but you got away with that single use function. That's it. There's no other additional exposure. Now, when I look at decentralized finance and the way in which we're building this ecosystem.
Okay, so decentralized finance and the way we're building this ecosystem.
It radically changes the value proposition for me because.
Changes the value proposition.
Because it's on Bitcoin. We've got.
It's on Bitcoin. That's enough right there.
Smart contracts. We now have a decentralized exchange.
Smart contract. Decentralized exchange.
On it, right? The swapping capabilities allow high frequency trading capabilities.
Swapping capabilities, a high frequency trading capabilities.
Just that in itself at hyper efficient swaps, right? Now you've got batching. We've got mobile nodes on a phone.
Batching, mobile nodes on a phone. He just did a rapid fire of how he just killed the game with all of that stuff. For those who don't understand what the batching means, how this works, and I explained this to my executive assistant, Marnita, like this. Think of a freeway, and you got 4 or 5 lanes on a freeway. Obviously, you got the slow lane and you got the fast lane. Bitcoin blockchain is in the slow lane. 10 blocks, 1 block every 10 minutes. Every transaction might take anywhere between minutes, hours, maybe if you're lucky, a couple of seconds. It's slow. And you got the businesses, you got Visa and MasterCard saying, we need transactions to happen fast. You're going too slow. And so then you got Ethereum and the other. Hey, we got Fast Pass over here. Come to our freeway. Come to our blockchain. Yeah, Bitcoin's cool and all, but they're too slow over there. Well, what they're saying now is with this technology, we've created a fast lane on the Bitcoin blockchain. And that fast lane is dark fusion. So now, instead of one transaction being sent to the Bitcoin blockchain and waiting for the 3 verifications and all of that, they are verifying these off the chain, and they're batching all. I don't know what the limit is, 50,000 transactions or what. I got to learn that. What's their limit? But they're taking multiple transactions, batching them into one transaction, and then sending that one transaction to the slow lane to be recorded on the Bitcoin blockchain so that the fast lane can continue to move fast without slowing down because of the Bitcoin. And everything is still being recorded, batched up, and sent over. Now, let's say if it was 50,000 transactions, instead of having 50,000 separate transactions being sent to the Bitcoin, Bitcoin's only getting 1, and there's only 1 transaction fee. That is something you've got to get in your head. Why, when I say there's a 98% reduction in server costs, why the transaction now drops all the way down to 0.0002 cents per transaction. So that's how they're doing it. That is something you really got to get. I got to figure out if the way I'm explaining it, maybe I got to go visit my mom, because I like to break things down the way my mom can understand it. If my mom could get that, then I know I'm on the right track. But he just said it so fast that I know it went over most people's heads. But this is huge for those of you who get it right now.
Adjacent to that, the single-use cryptographic seals. And I'm sitting here going like, I feel super privileged and excited to be in this position that we're going to be launching this to the market. But The best and the brightest minds in the world are living in this market right now. What are they going to do with it? What are they going to take with these basic functions in terms of being able to extrapolate it across a network? That's profound impact for me. And it's super exciting because every single individual that I'm speaking to in the market at the moment, from a BTC Maxi all the way through to the root EVM protocol devs, every single person goes, you can do what? That's incredible. That's awesome. Let's expand. How does this work? How are
Now, when he says that, here's the thing, I people watch. Who's he talking about? Now, he's not talking about people walking up and down the street. He's talking about people he talks to that are those nerds that go to blockchain expos, that when they're on stage speaking, it sounds like they're speaking a NASA language. That's who he's talking about. But every time I talk to people, what people? Those people. They're saying, wait, you're able to do what on the Bitcoin network? Really? If it's getting them excited. So he said, well, imagine what they're going to be able to do with this.
you building on, and how are you? It's a really, really advantageous position to be in as a protocol. But more importantly is that the focus of what we're doing is around sustainability. It's around the secure elements, sustainable mechanisms, and how do we support the people that build on top of us? That's exciting.
So safe to say.
How do we support the people that build on top of us? Now, for us, our question is, how are we getting paid on the people building on top of us? That's where the value for us comes in as Vara ambassadors.
This is a paradigm shift.
I don't know why, guys. The audio for Greg himself is very muted. There's nothing I can do on my end, but I'm really paying more attention to what Nick and the other Greg are saying. So just bear with it.
It's true.
It's definitely a new way to look at the world, right?
So, how does this now translate into value for Vara? That's what I want to.
Yeah. He just said it. He just said, how does this translate into value for Vara, meaning all of you, all of us?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of questions and feedback from the network. Just trying to really understand the positioning of Vara in all this greatness. So Vara, which is our ambassador for the affiliate platform, which now essentially has access to dark fusion technologies. So dark fusion technologies is the core code. This is the technology provider that's created smart contract language. But if we look underneath that, we have Fusion 1, going back to our previous conversation, which is all the toys of the system. This is where we have the DeFi, this is where we have the GameFi, our product layer. Everything is built into this ecosystem, which leverages.
Don't forget the DEX.
And
that's the exciting part.
Now, where is Vara positioned in all of this, and what benefits do they extract from this huge technology that we're undergoing now?
So Greg, great positioning from where Dark Fusion sits, the incredible ecosystem of products and services that we're building out. And just to recap for the ambassadors within the Vara ecosystem have exclusive rights to sell these products and services. And I think that is the big distinction here, is that they're propagating the message. They're our sales arm that is driving the take-up and the revenue opportunities that these products are bringing to the fore. So if we have to use an example that I'm sure a lot of people might infer, and if you look at how Ethereum started and the EVM ecosystem, where you have a proliferation of that smart contract that is then facilitating the development of various products and services, decentralized application, various finance services, and all that whole ecosystem is bringing to the fore, we're allowing the ambassadors now to benefit from the ground level now within the BTC ecosystem, which is just incredible. So if you can imagine, ambassadors, this unbelievable market capitalization of what Ethereum is right now, and the individual products and services that they're offering within this ecosystem, you're now able to, from the ground up, have the opportunity to capitalize on these decentralized applications, centralized applications.
Here's what he's saying is so big. In the crypto space, you don't know how many times I hear people say, Brandon, well, what's the next Dogecoin? What's the next Shiba Inu? What's the next coin that's going to go 10,000%? And you're asking the wrong question. The question you should be asking is, what's the next company? What's the next project that is positioning itself to survive all of the volatility of crypto and is going to go into the future as offering products, goods, and services that the people are going to be using blockchain technology? That's the question that you should be asking. And when you find that company, getting in at the beginning. How many of you would have loved to be a part of Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Alibaba in the 90s as opposed to today? What if my very first Apple product I ever purchased, 2023, an iPhone 15 Pro Max. What if I decided to invest in Apple before they came out with their very first iPhone? So what he's saying is, as Vara ambassadors, we are here at the ground floor of these new products and services that are coming out before the world even knows about it. Now, the question is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to just kind of like sit there and just kind of watch? Or are you going to make sure you're in position to ride this wave? See, I'll tell you, people who have money have different conversations. When me and Peter first was understanding what this was, there's one thing we both said. We need to get promoted to the top ranks as fast as possible before we understand everything that comes with it. See, a lot of people out there say, I need to understand everything first before I move a muscle. Successful people say, I want to be the individual that helps design how this is going to be. That's what we do. So while people, it's in beta, things aren't working exactly right. How come this is? While you're doing that, I'm out here building an empire. I figure it out as we go because I know what the goal is and what they're trying to do, which blows my mind that, I mean, I don't leave money on the table. And somebody else had built $100,000 for me and I'm just sitting there looking at it. I don't want it bad enough. Now, I'm not saying any of you don't want it bad enough. That's just how I look at things. I'm going to do everything in my power to get that money, especially with where we sit right now. So let me keep going here.
Applications now within the Bitcoin ecosystem, which is just phenomenal. And I mean,
and it's not just, and I think this is a point of Bergh, it's not just Bitcoin. We like to look at ourselves as an ubiquitous platform. It's accessibility
sure.
For cross-border. It's not about being exclusive to one person.
It's about agnostic access.
It's about agnostic access, and that was also part of what Fusion 1 stands for or symbolizes is this kind of this fusion of layer 1 and layer 2, creating the bridge from existing blockchain into the future of blockchain, which is not excluding EVM.
No, not at all.
We've also built our own EVM blockchain, which facilitates a lot of the functions that we're bringing into the Bitcoin ecosystem, but then creating this bridge to the Bitcoin blockchain.
100%. I mean, fundamentally, the SCL protocol as we have it, it's built around the utilization of UTXOs. Yeah. So we can support any UTXO chain. Yeah. The biggest UTXO chain happens to be our Bitcoin, right? So as we progress through this, we have the capability to deploy these smart contracts on the likes of Litecoin, Dogecoin, any other UTXO-based chain. But
whoa! Hold up! He threw something in there. He said not only Bitcoin, but he said Dogecoin.
The point is that it's not about the chain and the access point. It's not about the chain. It's about the access point. It's about creating that agnostic access point into the world of decentralized finance, into the world of these tokenized instruments. Now, from our perspective, we support and create these infrastructures that allow us to mint the assets on Bitcoin layer 1, leveraging Bitcoin's level of security and level of compliance. But more importantly, it doesn't mean that we neglect and exclude the likes of the EVM chains, right?
Oh, it just got even bigger. All right, let me try to explain. Okay. Not only Is it using the Bitcoin security, the Bitcoin compliance, because the SEC has already said that it's not a security? It's saying we're not going to leave the others to hang. We're going to be able to service the other blockchains as well. I might be wrong. Let me make sure I heard that right. Go back 15 seconds.
Perspective, we support and create these infrastructures that allow us to mint the assets on Bitcoin layer 1, leveraging Bitcoin's level of security and level of compliance. But more importantly, it doesn't mean that we neglect and exclude the likes of the EVM chains, right? There are users within that ecosystem that would love to bridge into this into our ecosystem. But more importantly, it's about that agnostic support across the network. So fundamentally, from Fusion One's perspective, we don't care if you come from an EVM chain. We don't care if you come from a UTXO chain. We give you the tools to support and add value and build out this beautiful ecosystem, utilizing the leverage UTXO-based solutions we have, but also supporting EVM. And this.
Anybody outside of Mr. Crow understand what he just said? Well, Vice Admiral Herschel Crow knows what that just meant, what he just said there. Wow. What is it? 90% of all smart contracts in existence are on the Ethereum network right now. And we now have a way that they can bridge themselves over and still support using SCL language at the same time. Wow.
This is, I think, one of the major problems that is exposed in decentralized finance and layer 2s within EVM right now is the fact that everyone becomes very, very sort of concerned about their own protocol. And while I understand from a business objective perspective, they're trying to put their best foot forward and push their protocol, the point comes down to is the fact that they exclude, by the very indirect nature of that, exclude a vast majority of the network and a vast majority of users. So from our perspective, we want...
Yeah, that's called Apple. Apple's like that. Apple's like, oh, we're only looking at our network and nobody else can be a part of it. What they're saying is we're open source. We open this. We don't want to leave anybody out. Oh, Mr. Lofties is here. He gets it. Provis gets it. I see.
Users to come from far and wide, regardless of what underlying protocol you support, because we can fundamentally support everything through Fusion One. But the objective then is to say, well, now that you've joined us on our journey through Fusion One, this is what we can do differently to EVM. This is how we improve on the efficiencies of the EVM. This is how we can improve on the security.
Oh, here's another way. How can I break this down? All right, let's say you're a 90s hip hop kid. Do you remember the rap wars? East Coast, West Coast, worldwide. East Coast versus West Coast. And yet there's the Soul Train Awards, Lady of Soul, BET, MTV, where everybody, no matter your label, No Limit, Bad Boy, Death Row, well, no matter your label, Ruthless, you all came together to nominate who's the best rapper, best new artist, and all of that. And Suge Knight got on stage at one and said, hey, if y'all tired of, your producer dancing in all your videos, singing, being in all your stuff, come on over to us over here. So what he's saying is, look, our technology will support you. Even if you're on the Ethereum network, you can use our technology. But now that you're here, let me show you how much better it would be if you move to the Bitcoin network and we can bridge you over to that, instead of you just staying on the Ethereum network. Do you guys get that? What he's saying there? That it's going to be an easy transition. It's like giving them a carrot and showing them there's more over here. That is huge.
Standards based on business objectives within the space. Now, that's a very, very easy logical connection, because anyone that's been working as building a decentralized application in any EVM environment understands the limitations, understands the costs, understands the throughput issues. If you suddenly...
Again, he's not talking to you guys. He's talking to the programmers that are currently using the EVM language for Ethereum. So he says they understand the problems, the scalability, the cost. So when they see what Dark Fusion's doing, they're going to understand the benefits and want to use it. That's what he's saying here. Let me back up just a bit.
Within the space. Now, that's a very, very easy logical connection, because anyone that's been working as building a decentralized application in any EVM environment understands the limitations, understands the costs, understands the throughput issues. If you suddenly wipe those off the board and suddenly have an efficient, low-cost, hyper fast solution, it's nonsensical as to why you wouldn't partner or build in such a way that we onto that protocol, right? But from our,
in other words, he's saying, once you see what we got, it would be stupid for you not to want to do it. It would be it wouldn't make sense. Businesses are in business to make money and to not spend as much money as they just keep as much money as they can and make as much money. So if a business sees what we have, it makes no sense for them to stay on the old system that they have problems with. That's what he's saying here. So he's saying that 90 percentile will start to move and shift over here. And if one business does it, their competitors will be forced to have to do it as well, or risk losing. You know, if you want to remain competitive, you're either going to be Netflix or you can be Blockbuster and Radio Shack. Which one do you want to be? You guys get this?
Perspective is that every bit of tooling we're building is about reinforcing that, is about allowing individuals to understand that if you exist on an EVM chain does not mean we exclude you. We give you the tools, the functionality to embed into the system. But more importantly, it's not just about layer 1, layer 2, EVM versus UTXO, or state versus UTXO. It's a much broader play than that. So I'm going to tap into a little bit of alpha here that's coming through for next year. But as an example, in terms of the Unity SDK.
Whoa. He almost slipped on something that I don't even know about. Let me back that up and see what did I just miss?
And that if you exist on an EVM chain does not mean we exclude you. We give you the tools, the functionality to embed into the system. But more importantly, it's not just about layer 1, layer 2, EVM versus UTXO, or state versus UTXO. It's a much broader play than that. So I'm going to tap into a little bit of alpha here that's coming through for next year. But as an example, in terms of the Unity SDK, the Unity SDK is allowing us to embed wallets at an SEL level.
The Unity SDK. Elvis Herscher, you catch that? The Unity SDK.
Directly into Unity-based games, right? This is a fundamental game changer in what that offers to the ecosystem, to the network, and the underlying technology. But that core belief system, and the Unreal SDK, there's two. So that simple function allows us to embed in existing games, allowing us to leverage the play-to-earn mechanisms in a fair, transparent way, and in ways that there's limitations on EVM right now. So.
Oh, you guys, you know. Okay. Let me say what he did to say. God dang. Fortnite, Roblox, Minecraft, all of these current games right now that have pay to play. They're trying to figure out how to implement NFT or the ability for their players to create and add more content and be rewarded for doing so without breaking the bank. And they're trying to figure that out without having to go to the drawing board and create a whole new game. Especially these are game titles that have spent 5, 6, 7 years in development before they were even launched. What he's saying is our technology is going to allow them to do what they want to do and bridge themselves over. So it's not about us bringing new games to the market. We'll also be able to help out games already on the market and bring them into the fold. We already know the size of that industry. We already know how many players are playing those, almost 1 billion players. World of Warcraft by itself, $24 billion. What if one of these gaming companies says, and Nick said, Unreal Engine. What if these current game companies says, you know what, let's use this Dark Fusion technology stuff to be able to do our transactions, to create our NFTs and make it secure and safe, and it's on Bitcoin network. And we don't have to go to the drawing board and do it. They're already doing it. All we need to do is just integrate it. And now their customers now become our customers. All of the transactions that they do has to be validated through our system. And who's getting a percentage of every single validation that's happening? The Vara ambassadors. I know members of Vara is either listening to me live or will watch the recording. If I'm off, let me know. But I think I'm on because I'm reading between the lines of what you're saying and what you're not saying. I get it. All right.
I'm not sitting as bashing EVM. I mean, EVM is where we started this entire journey, right? We broke Polygon by going through the basis of trying to mint out huge amounts of
wallets,
like
the gas fees.
That's not a sustainable mechanism. Yes, the team has made significant progress since then, but our ability to be agnostic.
He just said they broke the Polygon. They tried. See, before they had created for the Dark Fusion on the Bitcoin network, it looks like they were trying to do it either with Polygon and Solana, and it wasn't working. He said it. We broke Polygon.
EVM is where we started this entire journey, right? We broke Polygon by going through the basis of trying to mint out huge amounts of
wallets,
like
the gas fees.
That's not a sustainable mechanism. Yes, the team has made significant progress since then, but our ability to be agnostic, not only to a protocol, but also to a product, is about creating actual businesses that work on a blockchain or work in a centralized fashion.
And are scalable.
Exactly. Are efficient, take advantage of the underlying technology, and more importantly, above all else, are super transparent. Guys, it's on a blockchain. We can't manipulate the data even if we wanted to. That's the important thing.
So guys, I don't want to take up too much more time. We've got a couple more things to address.
Yes.
Firstly, it's talking around our product layer within Vara, which is really fueled by Fusion 1 and what we'll be announcing to the network. Stay tuned for Friday showcase where we bring a company presentation to go into more detail around that user process. So as a Vara ambassador right now, essentially having this affiliate play, we are now giving these Vara ambassadors access to the Fusion 1 product suite.
Yes.
All right. Giving us Vara ambassadors access to the Fusion 1 product suite. Vara is just part of that.
In a very easy and efficient manner. Maybe you can.
Thanks, Greg. And that's the truth here, is that we've actually simplified it. So if you're logging into the ambassador portal and you're signing up your prospects through the sales mechanism, we facilitated, various access products that they're able to purchase through the back office in a simplified manner. And that's really unlocking this product set that we're bringing to the fore. So through your various access packs, you're able to then get access to these various product services that we're now allowing.
So think about that. The current product pack right now just represents Vara. So he's talking about the future product pack. It's going to represent all of the different product suites. And then it looks like you're going to be able to choose which one, how that works. Let's keep going.
For them to be able to earn from through the sales process and through all of the innovation that we're bringing to the fore with regards to our decentralized finance play, etc. But Greg, it's been, an interesting journey, because not only do we have our access packs that's available, we're also going to, have various products that are able to be purchased on an individual basis and also to be sold through the organizations.
Isn't that interesting? All right, so because I'm gleaming all new information that's going to be coming. So we're going to have access packs, but then there's going to be other products that you can just sell directly that's not a part of the access pack themselves. Okay.
So you're able to tap into this incredible plethora of products that we're bringing now into this Vara ambassador layer, for which the ambassadors, stress this again, have exclusive rights to sell and propagate. So we really are making it easy for you, the ambassadors, to be able to, purchase access to the suite of services and products, and then market that within your organization, and to choose, the service that you're most interested in. and obviously attract various
So
others to
let's
this
look at
organization.
the timelines here. There's obviously a lot going on from the development perspective.
Yeah.
Our core objective and focus as a business has been building out, if you like, the core economy. This is a smart contract language, this is the protocol, which is going to be the driving force of everything that we create, accessing the Bitcoin economy, really allowing the network to deliver and sell products which is built on this infrastructure. So that's been our core focus. What are we looking at now in December? We're looking at introducing 4 very unique products. One of them, which is now currently available, is a Vara product.
Yeah.
We have the Fusion One application, which is a yield product and wallet, which will be going live in December. We have a very exciting product announcement coming
Next week.
and we have the DFG announcement to the world, and the smart contract is going live in December. So there's a lot of play here.
So what do you guys think it is? What are they going to be announcing next week? What's going to be this next new project or product? I'm telling you, I'm on the top. I don't even know. I don't know what it is. So I'm waiting for this.
We're also looking at starting our media roadshow, which goes live next week. Bergh, I know you're going to be very involved.
Okay, now that is going to be a game over when that happens. I do crypto talks every morning, and major part of it is I'm scouring the news and what's going on in the crypto space that's being reported on in the news. The moment, this is what I'm waiting for, you mark my words, the moment in my crypto talk, a news pops up on my desk that talks about dark fusion technology and Vara, I'm losing my shit. I'm telling you right now. And I'm going to be going ape crazy over this. The moment that happens, I'm running my mouth like there's no tomorrow. And then I'm putting my foot on the gas. I haven't put my foot on the gas yet, but I'll be putting my foot on the gas the moment that happens, because there's nothing like third-party verification. It's one thing for the company to talk about how great they are, for the representatives who's making money in the company to talk about how great it is. But when you have a third-party entity that has nothing to do with the company, they're just reporting on what they're doing in the space, it's game over. And so I'm inside, I'm trying to bet, how long will that take? Will it be in December? Will it be in January? Because there's no way something like this can be hidden for long. The stuff that comes across my desk right now from these BS companies, you mean to tell me these BS crap scam companies can get notice in the media, but Vara can't? It's impossible. So when this media thing starts, and you guys as part of my ILCA community, keep your eyes open and your eyes peeled. The moment you see and hear something, come run back and let me know.
And we have the DFG announcement to the world, and the smart contract is going live in December. So there's a lot of play here. We're also looking at starting our media roadshow, which goes live next week. Bergh, I know you're going to be very involved in this.
It's super important from an exposure point of view, because the thing is that the next step is obviously starting to attract community members and Bitcoin supporters and Bitcoin developers to be able to not only scrutinize what we're doing, but assist. We're running a bug bounty campaign in terms of running public security audits. We want to ensure that.
Wow. Public security audits. They're basically saying, come and break our stuff. Break our thing. It's like a scientist that discovers something in the universe. And when they make their announcement, they leave it now open for other scientists to write a paper on it for open scrutiny. It's not closed. So they're saying, hey, we're so confident in what we have, and we want to expand on it. We want to, this is open source. Come help make it better. Bitcoin did the same thing. When the Bitcoin white paper was written, then you had all of the other, the Hal Finneys and the Craig Wrights, and those individuals that helped to develop the protocol and flesh the idea out. It wasn't just Satoshi Nakamoto. This is big. And I thought when he says they're doing the media show as well, they're not talking about just gamers. They're running into the crypto space. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this.
We include the community from a development standpoint to the maximum benefit of all of the participants. And the more people that we can have sight on what we're trying to achieve, and more importantly, the more validity that we can get from an exposure point of view, it adds so much value to what we're trying to achieve. But the first step, let's make it secure. Let's get it in the hands of the best and the brightest Bitcoin core devs. We've got a huge amount of guys that we've already engaged with and the response has been phenomenal. And it's going to really, really compound the next steps in what we're trying to do to provide this true.
You hear that word? Compound. That is the magic cha-ching money whenever I hear that word.
Truly safe and truly sort of agnostic access point built on Bitcoin, right? And that's the exciting part. So the roadshow is going to give us credibility and exposure into the specific markets that we're targeting. And as we progress through into the building up to December, there's going to be a huge amount of information to release. And one of the things that we have to be...
Oh, and I'm ready for it. A huge amount of information to release. I'm covering in all of it. I'll be doing lives constantly.
Careful about is that we often get excited about us talking about it on a dev diary, but there is an unbelievable amount of work that's gone into the underlying plumbing, if you will. And to try and communicate that in a single session is just daunting, right?
Yeah.
So the slow and build-up process is rooted around education. It's rooted around providing an underlying secure.
Again, I got to figure out how to do this in 30-minute presentation. This is going to be my challenge.
Auditing process, and more importantly about community inclusion. The objective is that we want to build both the retail arm, the institutional arm, the direct sales arm through Vara. Each of these are components within the ecosystem that we need to be able to support in the way that we have to speak the underlying language, right? So I need to be able to make sure that the Bitcoin core devs themselves, or any Bitcoin dev, has the capability to understand that our technical documentation is up to scratch. They're happy with the audits, they're happy with the progress. Being able to expose them to this information and including them in the journey is half of the heavy lifting that we're going to be doing over the next few months, right? And this is a very important tool because it allows us to check where it's more than 4 sets of eyes on the process.
And it really is an acid test. It's opening up to scrutiny.
Sure.
It's allowing people to touch and feel that level.
Exactly.
100%. So, Greg, we were chatting a little earlier, and it's also, centered in the founders that have been with us from the very beginning, have been on this journey with us, have believed in the vision, are starting to realize where we're going, what we've been doing, the innovation we've made from a dark fusion perspective, how this is culminating in the Fusion One ecosystem that they're going to now get to participate in going forward. And just wanted to obviously hear your thoughts on that, both you and Greg, just to showcase the value going forward for these individuals that have believed in us from day one.
I think the interesting thing about ambassadors and founders that effectively make up the system. This was an exclusive opportunity to bring our customer partners into the ecosystem.
Dig, I hate that this audio is messed up right here. I'm going to have to listen to this again on another platform. But let's see if we can just bear with this.
But the future benefit of having that in our ecosystem is going to be enormous.
Yeah.
We're talking about early access to where future airdrops on tokens linking directly to our consenting assets that will only be given to our founding members. We've got a special allocation that we will be announcing from a DFT perspective as a thank you to our founders. But really,
So in other words, he's saying basically we're going to have a DFT special as a thank you to our founders, which means those of you who purchase a founders pack, you're going to be gifted DFT tokens. If you haven't gotten the founders pack, what the hell? Or sell the founders packs. Earn your way. I can't afford a founders pack. Earn your way to get one. I have not come out of pocket for any of my founder packs. I put in the work. earn the commission, use the commission to buy the founder packs. How bad do you want it?
Knowing them as our kind of trusted partners and making sure that we look after them going forward and showing them our sort of gratitude for the support thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, testament to that is everything that we've spoken about today and what that future looks like, which is just incredible.
There's also a lot that we haven't spoken about.
That is true.
That also brings me to another point around what we're taking very seriously now, given the landscape, crypto landscape, and regulatory frameworks that we've got to work with globally now is compliance, making sure that we've got a very robust compliance structure in our business, adhering international laws across the board. This is a very important part in scaling a business, in sustaining a business, having those ethical business practices that we've got to implement to make sure that this is something that we can build value for you, our ambassadors, but also for ourselves as a business moving forward. That allows us to continue investing in this dark fusion. Maybe you want to talk about that.
Yeah, look, I think one of the pivotal points is having compliance as a non-negotiable, right?
Yeah.
Like they
I like that right there. Compliance, non-negotiable.
There are a few. I'm never an advocate of skirting on the line, right? I want it to be fair, I want it to be transparent, I want it to be compliant. And the simple fact is the regulatory landscape as it is now is vastly different to what it was 12 months ago. And as the regulators start to understand the underlying digital asset ecosystem better, starting to provide structural guidelines and frameworks for us to adhere to, it makes it easier for us to comply. But adjacent to that, there is an underlying ethical and moral responsibility that we have to perform best practices. And I think the fact that we follow such stringent compliance standards, and both internally and externally, really give me comfort from a standpoint of what it represents to Dark Fusion as an ecosystem and the associated product layers around it. And that's a very important part, because compliance should start first. Compliance shouldn't be something we do after the fact. And when you do it after the fact, there's always additional troubles, always additional problems. So the fact that we've spent so much time over the last couple of months now, I mean, longer than that, nearly 6 months working on compliance standards, making sure we have the necessary frameworks in place.
Process.
No, of course not.
We will be making some announcements in the next few weeks regarding compliance and updates to our terms and conditions.
Correct.
And this is all around protecting our customers,
100%.
protecting our business.
And it's also about it's responsible disclosure, right?
Yeah.
So, regardless of what ecosystem we sort of service, especially from a jurisdictional standpoint, we need to be able to adhere to a much broader scope of responsible reporting, making sure our users understand the risks within the ecosystem, making sure we just do responsible disclosures, making sure that they understand what we are building, what we are doing, and being transparent about it. That's the biggest point, is that upholding the absolute ethical standard of what we need to do from a compliance standpoint, not only from a fear of a regulator standpoint, it's just simply doing what's right. And that gives us an underlying investor protection, and more importantly, an underlying level of transparency that gives me personal comfort. And that's the focus, is that it's non-compromisable, it's non-negotiable, and that gives us the framework to do all of the other cool stuff that we're doing, because none of the toys make sense if it's non-compliant, right? Like, that's fundamentally what it comes down to.
And sorry to close on that, it gives our ambassadors within the Vara ecosystem that sense of comfort and being that, all of these processes are in place, allows for them to propagate that message in such an amazing way.
And we've always been upfront and also states in these businesses, because we're constantly evolving, improving systems, improving our compliance process. But on that, we will be updating the network prior to the launch of the new app. Looking to understand introducing existing entities to protect both our customers and the business. And we will also be updating a lot of the information. I know there's a lot of information that's been kind of circulating around. We're working on multiple products. We're working on the Dark Fusion technology side. So there's a lot going on here, guys. But I want to ensure you, everything's going to come better from an information perspective. So we'll be updating a lot of the company presentations. A lot of our websites and landing pages will be updated by the end of the month, still to come. So check out for that. It's really, really exciting, the progress that we've made in the background. We've been working very hard and diligently with our teams to make sure we provide the best user experience possible and get the right information out there.
Very much so. So that there's replication in the messaging, it's concise, it's clear and simplified. So yeah, really looking forward to all that content that we're going to release.
But just a recap on that. So that's what to look forward to now. We will be essentially launching 4 products by the end of the month. There's a lot going on here, but this is the time is now. The timing is everything in this market with what's happening with Bitcoin, halving coming up, indicators all over the place. It really is all about timing, but timing is a revolutionary technology. You don't get better next to than that.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so that's all happening now, guys. Stay tuned for our showcase on Friday. We'll give you a company update and company presentation, so look out for that. And then next week is going to be a jam-packed week, very exciting from a product perspective. We've got a big announcement for you guys. I know you're going to love it. So stay tuned for that. And we'll see you on Friday. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. That's all I can say. I hope you guys learned something from that. I did. I caught some good nuggets. We are at the right place at the right time, but it means nothing if we do nothing. Take advantage while you can. The Founders Pack, I was just told by Nell, is going to be here until the end of the month or until it sells out. Take advantage of that while you can. Those who have the most access packs, access keys and Vara tokens will be in the best positions down the road. So next week, we've got a big announcement that's going to come up, but we still have to finish this week. This is only Tuesday, November 7th. So let's not wait till next week. Let's make things happen. Finish this week strong. I will be doing an international presentation tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Remember, time changed for us in the U.S. Internationally, I don't think your time changes until next week. So keep that in mind. So I was all taught by my mentors. Even though I'm in California, I always think on Eastern time zone. I lived there for 6 years as well on the East Coast. So Eastern time zone, New York time zone is the business time of the world. Know what that difference is between where you are and what Eastern time zone is. So 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, I'm doing an international presentation. We've got a follow-up dev diary on Friday. So be on the lookout for that one. And then it's also game time next week, where we have a launch of a new product inside of Vara. So with that, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will play one last video for you guys, and I will see you tomorrow morning for the next presentation. And here it is. Take care. Bye-bye.